I'll give you a little bit of sauce on how you can break any addiction that you currently have, anything that you're struggling with, anything that you feel is holding you back in life, and you see it as an addiction. And it probably is. You're probably addicted to it. It's enslaving you. It's making you feel like shit, and it's killing your productivity from day to day. And it's ruining your life low key, in a very discreet way, like an assassin just coming in and fucking killing you when you least expect it. And the way to break any addiction is to not really see it as an addiction. Because here's the thing, when you walk around and say, I'm addicted to porn or doom scrolling or binge watching TV shows, movies, whatever, you walk around with the mentality that you are addicted and that you are trying to quit. You are addicted to this thing and you're trying to quit it. That's the wrong mentality to have. Because now you're always walking around identifying yourself as someone who is addicted to porn or scrolling or whatever. You're identifying with the addiction. I'm a porn addict, or I'm a junk food addict, an alcohol addict, or whatever it may be. So, or alcoholic in that case. So the thing is, you're identifying with the addiction, which is the wrong approach from the very beginning. So you need to get into the mentality of just saying, I don't do X or Y or Z. Okay? You don't do these things. There is no quitting. There's no process of you going through a quitting period or, relapsing or anything like that. None of that exists. You simply do not do any of these things. For instance, I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. Rarely, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I have a drink. During New Year's or a birthday party or whatever it may be, I may have a drink or two. But I don't drink. You see how that works? I don't drink, but sometimes I may have a drink or two. That doesn't mean I'm addicted. It just means I have a drink or two. It's all it is. It's the same thing with any of your other addictions. Even if you relapse with scrolling or porn or fapping or whatever it may be, you shouldn't identify with that addiction. You shouldn't tell yourself you are addicted. You shouldn't try to 100% forever, quit it to the point where you never, ever, 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 ever do these things. You're gonna relapse at some point. But if you keep identifying and telling yourself that you are addicted and you're trying to quit, you'll spend your entire life trying to quit. If you just tell yourself, I don't do these things. I don't watch porn. I don't scroll. I don't eat junk food. I don't drink alcohol. I don't take drugs. It will be so natural for you to just not do them. And you'll naturally quit. You'll automatically just quit because you don't do these things. So do you see how there's no process of you trying to quit or you feeling like you have to go from point A to point B because now you're an addict and you're trying to go to a point where you're not an addict? Do you see how that's, just ruining the chances of you actually breaking this addiction? Of course, it's kind of in a way where you're faking it to make it. However, it works. You may be delusional, you may be lying to yourself, but it works. You tell yourself, I don't do these things. So there's no reason to quit. There is no quitting process. There's just, I don't do these things. And naturally, you'll probably never do them again. And even if you do them at some point, right, it doesn't matter because you don't do them, right? Same thing with alcohol. I'm not addicted to alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. So as I mentioned, when I do drink during New Year's or whatever, I don't get the urge to continue drinking every day from that day on out because I'm not an addict. I'm not addicted. I'm not trying to quit. I just don't drink. That's the mentality you need to have. All these no-fap guides out there and these dopamine detox guides out there, they're trying to sell you this idea of perfection. Okay? They're trying to make you believe that you need to be perfect when quitting. The only thing you need to do is just stop identifying with the addiction, separate yourself from it, Don't be in a process where you're trying to quit and then live your life as it is. You won't even care about these things anymore. You'll naturally just phase them out of your life. And even if you do give in to them at some point again, it will be like you not drinking, you not being an alcoholic, but you drinking during New Year's. I had a drink in New Year's. I had a beer, right? But I don't think about alcohol. I don't think about it. I don't give a fuck about alcohol. I don't want to drink. Like I don't care about it at all. That's the way you will see those other bad habits when you just stop identifying with them. Whenever, like, when you say to yourself, I don't do these things, and then eventually 1 year later you happen to do it once. You just, I don't know, you have junk food or you start scrolling for an hour or whatever, you won't really care. It will be like a one-time thing. Like, well, I don't do this. It just happened this time. That's fine. Whatever. I'll move on with my life. You won't even think about it. So, this is how you tackle any addiction that you have. You need to identify yourself with you not being addicted. Because when you tell yourself you're addicted, then you have to go through the process of quitting. And when you go through the process of quitting, you treat this thing as something you have to resist. I'm resisting this thing. I'm doing everything in my mind to push it away. And the more you try to push it away, the more it's going to come to you. If you just say, I don't do these things, there's nothing to resist. There's no addiction to fight. There's nothing to overcome. It's already done. That's how you do it. So if anyone watching this has any fucking addiction that's been plaguing them for years, or maybe their entire life, this is how you tackle it. Stop giving it power. Stop pedestalizing it. Stop putting it above you as something you have to quit. That is the only way to quit it. When you do that, you're not going to have any issues whatsoever with any of your bad habits or vices or whatever. So follow this. Let me know what you think a couple years, or not a couple years, a couple weeks down the line. And I promise you, you will notice how easy and effortlessly it is for you to quit these bad habits. You won't even notice you quit them. They'll just be gone because there will be no quitting process. And that's it. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you next time. Cheers.